Hi, I'm Lucy from Sew Essential, and today I'm sharing my latest make with you, which is the Made by Ray rose pants, something that's been on my to sew list for a long time. Finally got around to making them, and I cannot wait to tell you about this fantastic pattern. So I talk quite regularly on this channel about the fact that in the winter and the autumn I'm constantly reaching for jeans. I get like total jeans fatigue, jeans every day, bored. And I've always been trying to find things that I can make that get me away from the jeans in the autumn and the winter, so I'm wearing different things. And I made a skirt recently, that video might have come out, which I felt really would help me to get away from that. But I also had been wanting to make some wide leg trousers for a really long time. I did a video over the course of the summer about wide leg trouser patterns. I bought myself a pair over the summer, which I wore loads. And I thought, right, Lucy, it's time to bite the bullet. You need to just get on with it and make some nice wide leg trousers. So I looked back at my video with all the suggestions in, and I thought, do you know what? I think the rose pants by Made by Ray are the ones that I want to make. And I am so glad I chose that pattern. It is amazing. So I'm just going to give you another look at my version. So they are a lovely wide leg trouser. I'm absolutely delighted with the fit, and I have to say they fitted me straight out of the packet. I did make a toile because I thought they're trousers. I want to make sure they fit, you know, I don't want to end up with something that I won't wear in my proper fabric. So I made a toile in calico and I was looking at them in the mirror and I thought, do you know what? I really can't see anywhere that I could improve the fit on these. They feel great. I sat down in them. I was like, they're comfortable to sit down in. They just seemed just right. And yeah, I was just really pleased. And they're really easy to adjust the fit because they're elasticated at the back. So you've got a lovely flat panel at the front. You've got pleats at the front. I unfortunately didn't think about my pattern placement when I made these. This is my only regret with this project. So my pinstripe at the centre front there, you've kind of got like an uneven pinstripe at the centre front there. And if I had my time again, I probably would have placed that better and thought about it. So maybe you had a pinstripe running down the middle, possibly, I don't know. I'd have to be being really pedantic to worry about that. But anyway, yeah, they've got a double pleat on the front, although you have got different options included with the packet to do a single pleat, I think, and a couple of other variations. I think you can do gathering as well if you want to. Personally, I much prefer a pleat across the front there. I think gathers at the waist can be not the most flattering on me, so yeah, I opted for the double pleat. And then they've got these lovely pockets in them, which, you know, I am very lazy when it comes to pockets, certainly in pockets in dresses and things. Very often I'll skip them and think, oh, you know, it's one less step to do. I just want to get on and make the dress. But with these trousers, I thought, you know what, Lucy, it's a really easy pattern anyway. It won't take you long to sew the pockets and you will put your hands in them. Like in trousers, I definitely will. And I just love the whole vibe of like the wide leg, the hands in the pockets. It just feels, I don't know, they just feel, oh, just lovely. I just love them. And it was a complete fluke that my pockets matched up at the side. The pinstripe continues up the pocket. And joins up with the trouser leg. That was a bit of a fluke. Didn't really think about that one either. I think I was just a bit washed up in the excitement that they actually fit straight out of the packet. Originally I was going to do my waistband with the stripes vertically, and because I'd realised like I hadn't put much thought into the pattern placement on the trouser legs, I was like, right, I'm going to have to match that up. And then I just suddenly had a brainwave and thought, actually, do you know what? That will look much nicer if I do it on the cross grain. The fabric hasn't got any stretch in it. It's going to get interface that panel, like that's fine, that will work. And I'm really glad I did that because I really like the stripes going across that way and then down the trouser leg. And then at the back they're elasticated, so you just create two channels for the elastic, and then she suggests you sew it in at the side seams, and she suggests just top stitching it down along the middle of the elastic as well, so you get that almost like shirred look on the back. And obviously that then keeps keeps the fabric in place as well, which is really nice. But yeah, I'm just really delighted with these. They were such a quick, easy sew. The hem I did with a blind hem. I use my blind hem stitch foot on my sewing machine, which I very rarely use, but with this sort of suiting fabric and this sort of style of trouser, I thought I really do want that to be an invisible hem, and yeah, the blind hem stitch foot was great for that. And then I've just got them on with my trainers. I think that's what I will wear them with the most. And then as the temperature drops, the plan is to wear, I've got like quite a few sort of quite fitted turtleneck tops I will wear, but I would wear them with like a chunkier knit as well. I didn't want to put that on in the video because I wanted you to be able to see the trousers. But I just feel like these will be so easy to wear every day, and they are so comfortable. They're much more comfortable than jeans. So like jeans, see you later. I think these are going to be winning the wardrobe contest a lot, and I definitely think I will be making more pairs of these as well. So I'll talk to you in a little bit more detail. First time I made a Made by Ray pattern. Super impressed. I thought the instructions were really good. There were some nice little tips in there. What sort of tips? There was a tip in there that I thought was really useful. Can't remember what that one was, but she also taught you through how to make your toile as well right at the start of the pattern. A toile, for anyone who doesn't know, is a practice run. So I did a toile in calico, which is just really cheap fabric. We sell it on our website and it's great for making toiles. It's quite stiff, so it doesn't sort of represent the type of fabric you're going to be using in your finished garment, but just for getting an idea of how things fit, it's a really good starting point. So yeah, I thought, you know, because they're trousers, I'll make the toile, I'll run one up, and she tells you how to like skip the pockets and stuff like that, which I would know how to do that, but if you don't, you know, it's useful having that level of detail in there. And she suggests just, you know, basting your elastic into place just to test the fit on the waistband. So I made a toile. I thought, no, come on, make one. And I almost felt annoyed that they fit straight out of the packet, because very often I will skip the toile phase. But this time I didn't. And I was standing in the mirror looking at them going, well, I don't think there's a lot I could do about these. I think they fit really well. I think I'm just going to cut out exactly the same size in the fabric, which is what I did. Oh, and the fabric, I cannot remember what composition it is. I'm really sorry, but it's on our website. The links to our website are below, where you'll find the pattern and the fabric and lots of other fabrics you could use as well. If this isn't your cup of tea, we've got some nice plain medium weight crepe on the website. We've got like a chambray which you could use. We've got linen cotton mixes. We've got twill. We've got all sorts of fabrics that you could use on the website. But I have to say, I was really pleased with this one. The quality is outstanding. It just feels beautiful. It's a really nice weight. It's a medium weight, so you know it's not flimsy. It's a good weight for autumn winter. I feel like they're going to be nice and warm. It's super soft. It pressed beautifully. It sewed beautifully. It was just really easy to handle. So yeah, top marks for this fabric. I was delighted with this. And sizing wise, that was really nice as well. She gave you lots of measurements in the finished garment measurements. So in sewing patterns, for anyone who doesn't know, you usually get a sizing chart where you choose your size based on your measurements. Don't ever think you'll be the size you are in the shops, because it all varies massively. Measure your bust, waist and hips and you choose your size based on that. But then they usually give you finished garment measurements as well, so that you can get a feel for how big the actual finished garment's going to be. And I did look at these before I made the toile, even when I was deciding what size to cut out. And I looked at the size I was going to be making, and it's the hip area for me, because I've got a bum, I've got a bum and I've got hips. My hips are quite low though. I think I've got quite a weird body shape, to be honest, quite unusual, but it's always going to be that area that will be tight on me, if anything. So I just got the tape measure, measured what she said the finished garment size would be, and I could see that the tape measure could just drop freely over my hips, and I thought, well, that is going to be absolutely fine. find that, you know, they will be loose enough, they will be comfortable, they're not going to be tight in that area. So that's a good little tip. Just get the tape measure, put it around your body, and you'll see then how much ease you're going to have in the finished garment. But she also gave you measurements for the front rise, which is from the crotch up to the waistband, and the back rise, which is from the crotch up to the waistband at the back. She gave you the inseam measurements, so from your crotch down to the hem. And she gave you the outseam measurement, so from, I think she says it's from the top of the waistband to the hem. So you've got lots of sort of information there before you even start to help you pick the right size, which I really, really liked. I made a size small, which was, oh, that's the finish measurements chart, the size chart. Oh, hang on, that's another finish measurement. Sorry, everybody. On the size chart, it's a 30-inch waist and a 38-inch hip. I'm about a 29-inch waist, so I thought, well, I better go with the small because the extra small was a 28, and I thought, no, that's not going to be right. And like I said, because it's elasticated at the back, you've got lots of wriggle room there for fitting anyway. You can just, you know, what I did was I sewed the elastic in at one side, left the other side unsewn, and then I just pulled the elastic through the channels until I got to a point where I was happy with it, and then pinned it in place, and then I knew where to stitch it down to get the fit right. So yeah, so that was all really good. It goes up to a size 5, which is a 51-inch waist and a 59-inch hip, so nice and size inclusive. The extra small is a 26.5 waist and a 34.5 hip. But yeah, so I didn't have to make any adjustments. What she does with the hem as well, so my hem is only 5/8 of an inch, but actually the hem allowed on the pattern piece is a good few inches. I can't remember how many, but she says she does that so that you've got that opportunity there to adjust the length to suit you. I was only able to do a 5/8 of an inch hem. So if you wanted a deeper hem than that, really on a trouser like this, normally you would expect a deeper hem, but because it's blind stitched and you can't see it anyway, I wasn't bothered, that's fine. But yeah, for my height, you know, if I wanted a deeper hem, I would have had to lengthen the trouser a bit, but I kind of knew that. I knew from my toile that I'd get away with it, and I knew I was happy just to do like a 5/8 inch hem. So yeah, that's all the sort of sizing details. Construction wise, so simple. So you sew your pockets up first, you sew your you sew your pleats first, I think, then you do your pockets, and then you sew the trouser legs together, the front and the back, so that you've got basically a pair of trousers, and then you just get your waistband and sew that together. And then you attach your waistband to your trousers, and that all matched up really nicely. Like, I felt all the pattern pieces fitted together really well. Sometimes with patterns, you know, you find that the pieces don't quite fit together and you have to fudge it a little bit. There was none of that. It was beautifully drafted. The waistband and everything, I couldn't believe that when I went to sew that, and I was like, wow, there's no easing, there's nothing, it all fits beautifully. And then, as I said, you just create that channel. You can just sew with one big wide piece of elastic if you prefer, but I decided to do one of the options in the pattern, which was to top stitch down the middle of the waistband at the back, so that I created 2 channels, and then I just got some of our prim sort of soft waistband elastic, threaded that through the channels, and like I say, I stitched it down at one side, pulled it out the other side until I was happy with the fit, and then I was able to stitch that down. You stitch in a ditch to secure the waistband, and a little tip there as well, she suggests pressing under the raw edge of the waistband, and then top stitching that, well, stitching in the ditch to secure it. A little tip is actually, if you overlock the edge, the raw edge of your waistband on the inside, and then stitch it in the ditch, you're never going to run into that issue of not quite catching the fabric. When you fold it, there's always a bit of a, you know, chance that you might not quite catch the fabric because it's a lot closer to the seam. But if you just overlock it and press it down, you've got loads more fabric coverage there, and you haven't got to worry about that when you're stitching in the ditch, and you can just focus on getting those stitches in the seam line. I have got a good tutorial on how to stitch in the ditch, which I will link below for you as well if I remember, but if not, it is on the channel. If you just type in stitch in the ditch, you'll find it. But it's a really, I love doing it. I know some people hate it, but that's one of the sewing techniques that I just find really therapeutic. I use my clear foot. You can get a stitch in the ditch foot as well, which we do sell on the website as well for a range of brands if you're interested. But I just love that sort of mindful concentration of just like making sure those stitches fall into that seam line perfectly. I find it so mesmerising as I'm watching the needle. I know I probably sound a bit weird now. I'm probably going on about this a bit much, but I really do find it incredibly soothing. I really enjoy that step in a make. But yeah, so, you know, construction was dead simple. I finished the trousers. I made them on the Saturday. So I made the toile in the morning. I think then I went and did something at lunchtime. Can't remember what it was. Came back in the afternoon and I pretty much finished the trousers in the real fabric. On Sunday, I just had to like hem them, I think. I think that was all that was left to do. So it was a really quick, really easy sewing project. Something I will definitely go back to time and time again. I was really pleased with the fit. I just absolutely love this pattern. I cannot tell you how pleased I am with it. And lots of you say that, you know, you find you wear separates more day to day. I know quite a lot of you have said, you know, you'd like to see more trouser patterns and that sort of thing. So it just worked out really well that was what I wanted to make as well. And I hope you can see just what a fantastic pattern it is and how comfortable, how easy it is to make. And if you haven't made trousers before or you've been nervous about making them, this could be a great starting pattern for you because it is easy to fit. They're quite forgiving. There's quite a lot of ease in them. You've got the ability to adjust the fit at the waist, which is really the only part that's really fitted. So yeah, go for it. Try the Rose pants by Made by Ray. I cannot recommend them enough, and I hope you've enjoyed that today. You can find the pattern and the fabric on our website, links in the description below. It's the best way to support me to keep making my content is placing orders through our website, and thank you to everybody who does that. If you like what you see today, please like and subscribe, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.